All righty, good evening. It is 6:31 on May 17th, 2018. This is the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for the month. Prior to coming out before you, we met in pre-session to review the cases. Our first order of business tonight is to review the minutes of our March 22nd meeting. Are there any comments by the Commission, or is there a motion by the Commission?
I move that.
I'll move that we approve the minutes of the last meeting as written.
We have a motion by Vice Chair Portman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Williford. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Williford, Maurer, Haas, Robinson, Guerra, Blankenship. In favor? None opposed. The motion carries.
All righty. Thank you very much. Item 4 this evening is a public hearing. This is to consider approval of the White Glove Express Edition, Lot 1R1-A, Block A replat, that being a replat of the White Glove Express Edition, Lot 1R1, Block A being 1.02 acres, to extend the fire lane easements onto Denton Tap Road per the condition of PD-294-C for Alpine Wash, being located at 250 South Denton Tap Road between East Bethel School Road and Sandy Lake Road, at the request of Alpine Car Wash, being represented by Tony Krauska of Dowdy Anderson. So the staff presentation is Ms. Boswell. Harry?
Good evening, Commissioners. This is the first public hearing this evening. This is a replat, essentially, for Alpine Wash, as was mentioned in the caption, that was approved several months ago. This replat does extend the fire lane onto Denton Tap Road as exhibited in the green, and the blue represents the access easement being abandoned by this plat. So essentially that blue part will turn into partially a drive into the vacuum stations, as well as additional landscaping for the car wash site. Staff is recommending approval of the White Glove Express Edition, Lot 1R1-A, Block A, subject to the following condition: that there may be additional comments generated at the time of detailed engineering review.
Very good. Thank you, Mary. Are there any questions of staff by the Commission? Okay. Is the applicant here to present the case?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Kraus with Dowdy Anderson. This just eliminates some of the driveway to nowhere and actually makes the fire lane connect to Denton Tap as it should have umpteen years ago. And answer any questions you might have.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any questions of the applicant by the Commission? Okay, thank you very much. This is a public hearing. If there's anybody who'd like to speak for or against the proposed application, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any discussion by the Commission? Is there a motion by the Commission?
I move that we approve White Glove Express Edition, Lot 1R1-A, Block A replat, subject to staff conditions.
We have a motion by Commissioner Williford. Is there a second? Second, Commissioner Guerra. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Williford, Robinson, Maurer, Haas, Portman, Guerra, Blankenship. In favor. None opposed. Motion carries.
Very good. Thank you very much. All righty. Item 5 this evening is a public hearing. This is to consider approval of PD-221R 3R3-HC, that being Point West Sun Holdings, a zoning request from Plan Development number 221, revision number 3, Highway Commercial, to Plan Development 221, revision 3, revised number 3, Highway Commercial, to attach a detailed site plan for 8,526 square feet of retail/restaurant on 1.9 acres of land, that being Lot 1R-1, and to amend the concept plan on Lot 1R-8, that being 3.6 acres, and attach a detailed plan for a parking lot on 1 acre and retain the concept plan for a hotel on the remaining 2.6 acres of property located at the northwest corner of I-635 and South Beltline Road, at the request of Michael L. Haddad of Sun Holdings and being represented by Greg Guerin of East Star Design. Marcy.
Thank you, Chairman. This is the property in question. It says 17 acres at, again, Beltline and 635. Just to the northwest of that is our Four Points Hotel, which, of course, has been open for about a year, and a True Hotel that's currently under construction. Back about 2016, we all approved a concept plan for this entire development. The first two phases, or first phase was buildings 2 and 3 for retail, office, and restaurant uses located on Beltline Road. That part of that was the X lot, or the which was next to that, which is a plaza area. The next phase 2 is basically on 635 and same type building, same size, but now front end 635. What was required with the first phase of development was the infrastructure, basically connecting this property to the existing hotel and providing access to the north side of phase 1. And then here's phase 2. Prior to the development of lots 1 and 8, which is actually tonight's project, they need to finish the infrastructure. It's my understanding now that they are actually under construction that they are going to do all this infrastructure at one time to bring all these lots on fairly quickly. So here's a nice rendering of the property. This is phase 1, phase 2, and tonight we're looking at phase 3, which is the new retail building and the proposed parking lot. This is what it looks like in a plan view, where lot 1R1, which is at basically the north portion of this property, is for retail restaurant uses, and lot 1RX is for a parking lot. Specifically, lot 1R1 is like 8,526 square foot building, again similar in size to the first two phases. They're providing 64 parking spaces, which would pretty much allow them to do half retail, half restaurant uses. The landscape plan is similar to the materials proposed in the previous phases. These are the elevations. Unfortunately, it looks a little bit washed out, but these are the same elevations as approved in the concept plan and has been detailed out, the same materials, colors, consistent signage. In terms of accessibility, part of the PD originally required a decel lane for that mutual access easement. That will be provided, at least as a PD condition now, but probably won't be constructed until we construct the improvements to Beltline Road. Also, to be provided is a mutual access easement from this lot up to the, I'm going to call Employment Center to the north. This would allow for cross-access to where a lot of people are working, to where hopefully a lot of people would like to eat. The other request is basically to take the property that was originally supposed to be for a hotel and subdivide the southern, basically 1 acre, to provide for 58 parking spaces. This actually does abut the landscape plaza area, so it kind of makes some sense of additional parking. What this will allow also is greater flexibility for the retail areas to provide parking and more restaurant uses. This does leave 2.56 acres of property for hotel, and that's pretty much the acreage to support a hotel that will meet our current hotel requirements for number of rooms and all that. Here's just basically a landscape plan of the parking lot, and again, it's using the same consistent materials and enhanced pavement as we're seeing in the other properties. So staff is recommending approval of PD 221R3R3, Highway Commercial, Point West, Phase 3, subject to the conditions. There will be additional comments at the time of building permit and detailed engineering review, and that we will be replatting Lot 1R, 1X. Basically, we're going to plat that existing Lot 1RX, 1R8 into 2 lots. The northern lot will be for the hotel and will provide for the mutual access easement, and the southern 1 acres will be for the parking lot, which will be part of their property owners association and basically an X lot. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. The applicant is in the audience.
Marcy, so the Lot 1R8X, or the northern lot, it has mutual access easement to the adjacent property on the north.
Yes.
Why is there no cross-access with the hotel site? Go back, yeah, right here, up on the north. So we show the
Goes
access
this
to the
way?
north, but we don't show a little cross-access to the hotel. Any particular reason?
There's driveway here, though. Oh, you're talking about this hotel? The
Yeah,
4
just,
Points?
we have,
There's
on
an
the south
access.
side, there's an access point, but I'm just curious why on the north side we only have one.
No, another one.
Going, as opposed to going across, tie them all together.
I don't. I know that we do. We have provided for that access on the southern part, but not specifically on the northern part because it's right there. So.
I guess. Any other questions of staff? All right. Is the applicant? Oops, sorry.
And plus,
Marcy,
actually, now that I'm thinking about this hotel is built out, and there was actual stub out on the property to the north to provide this mutual access, where there's not a stub out from the 4 Points into this property, because they are providing the access. Let me go back on the southern. I don't know if that shows it, because we did provide this for them this way.
What was the parking configuration on the original concept plan? I know you had a rendering in there. Did you have a site plan? So they were showing it all landscaped?
No, the original concept plan for the hotel showed just a larger hotel. So what we're doing now is basically
They're shifting that north.
moving it north, and it's still the 2.5 is about the acreage that we need to meet our requirements.
Marcy, how far can the in terms of our ordinances, can the parking lot be from the retail and restaurant building for it to be considered one lot as it relates to the ratios?
300 feet. But again, we're all part of this PD, and we have this common area here, which is kind of nice because you could basically, walk through the common area to the parking lot. Let me get back to where the parking lot is.
So is there a sidewalk or a walking path from the parking lot to the retail building?
Let me look at that. Look at the detail of the. Yep. There is, walking. That's the wrong one. I'm sorry. I'm going backwards. I'm still going backwards. It's been a long day. Up. There we go. There's kind of crosswalky type things out to, because again, these are mutual access, they're not dedicated streets, so they're basically through the drive aisles, through the parking lots.
But so you would walk from the parking lot? Would you have to walk across the street, and then is there a sidewalk on the other side to get to the building?
If you could walk across here, and then there's obviously walkways through the X lots to get to that, or you would have to walk a little bit on the driveway, I guess, get up to this one. But I'm assuming that again, it's kind of like a sidewalky type thing here, that this will most likely serve these more than that one up there. Everybody's going to park, as they're required, but this will just be extra parking.
So it's not showing up there, but on the site plan and concept plan, there's sidewalks running the exterior.
Well, yeah, adjacent to the.
Yeah.
Any other questions of staff by the commission? We may come back with a follow-up question there, Marcy. Is the applicant here to present the case?
Hi, good evening. My name is Greg Guerin. I'm an architect from 2000 Rushing Creek Drive, Heartland, Texas, 75126.
And I presume you're in agreement with the conditions as presented by staff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions of the applicant?
I guess in regards to the drive-through for the building, what type of restaurant do you, foresee going in there? And then I notice, and again, larger picture, I guess most of the lots have drive-throughs. How do you envision this development being? With the number of drive-throughs that you have, and also the type of restaurants you intend to bring in.
So we have one drive-through per phase, so there's going to be a total of 3. And right now we have a contract for Panera Bread on lot 5, the one on the bottom left. And so they're planning on going on in their facing 635, so that kind of fast casual restaurant.
I guess follow-up question. Typically, the hours of operation are just going to be, I guess, like 6 to 12 at night, or?
That sounds reasonable. But yeah, there's not a contract for that tenant in this phase.
Any other questions of the applicant? Okay, thank you much.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you guys, and I wanted to tell you, the project's finally under construction. So last time we were at City Council, the mayor had said, when's it going to start? And we wanted to wait before we broke ground, before we came to this phase 3. So we've got the momentum going, and we hope it can just keep going. So the guys are out there, and they're moving fast on the first 2 buildings, and we're almost done with the permit on the second phase with the engineering. So we'll go straight into the building permit if we can move on to City Council next month.
Thanks for that update. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're real excited. It's been really good, so we appreciate everything. Thanks for the presentation, Marcy.
You're welcome, Dick.
All righty. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. Is there anybody who'd like to speak for or against the proposed application? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there a discussion by the commission? Is there a motion by the commission?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I will move that case number PD-221R3R3-8C, Point West, PH3, be approved, subject to staff conditions.
We have a motion by Commissioner Portman. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Maurer. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Williford, Robinson, Maurer, Haas, Portman, Guerra, Blankenship in favor. None opposed. Motion carries.
Very good. Thank you very much. All righty. Item 6 on the agenda this evening is to consider approval of the Lock Addition Lot 5 Block A, a minor plat of a 0.56 acre tract of unplatted property to allow for the creation of a building site and to waive the alley requirement to allow for the construction of a single-family home on property known as 609 Lock Lane at the request of Aaron Anderson, being represented by David Hayes of the Holmes Builders. Marcy.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Again, this is the property on Lock Lane. The homes along Lock Lane were kind of generally built in the 1960s, and it was prior to the city of Coppell requiring that lots be platted. So on the left side is a screenshot before they demolished the house, and then again it shows it on our subdivision map that's not platted. So basically, there's 3 purposes of this plat. Is one, as ordinance requires, is to create the building site. Number 2, our subdivision ordinance does require that all residential lots have alleys unless waived by the P&Z, so that's why it's on your agenda. And also, when you have unplatted property, it's good to plat to determine if there's any easements that are required. Sometimes there's additional right-of-way that's needed for streets and all that. This one does not have additional right-of-way, but there is a current issue with the light pole that's out there, and it's our understanding that the applicant is working with Encore to relocate this light pole, which is near at the end of the street. So that being said, staff is recommending approval of Lock Addition Lot 5 Block A minor plat subject to the following conditions. Again, our standard condition that there may be additional comments at the time of building permit and detailed engineering review, and that there'll be a resolution to the Encore street light issue and provide easement if it is required. The applicant did provide us some easement documents from early 1936 and some light poles in this general area, but it's when they do go to plat this, if an easement's needed, this is the best time to put it on the property. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. The applicant and the owner are in the audience.
Very
So
good.
are
Thank
all the
you, Marcy.
utilities run in the right-of-way?
Yes.
Any other questions of staff? Any questions of the applicant? Not a tough crowd tonight. Okay. Any discussion by the commission, or is there a motion by the commission?
I move that we approve Lock Addition Lot 5 Block A minor plat subject to staff conditions.
Thank you. We have a motion by Commissioner Williford. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Robinson. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Williford, Robinson, Mauer, Haas, Portman, Guerra, Blankenship in favor, none opposed, motion carries.
Very good. Thank you. Best of luck on that site there. All righty. Item 7 this evening, update on council action for the planning agenda items on April 24th, 2018. Marcy.
City Council did approve the Magnolia Office Park, the Savannah development. They did have some neighbors out, so the only revision to what y'all approved is that they did require them to put the 8-foot screening fence versus a 6-foot screening fence. Besides that, was just as you guys recommended. So we're bringing ordinance next month. And besides that, I updated y'all on the other initiatives the planning department's working on. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Was there a big turnout on the Magnolia case?
It was substantial.
Thank you for the update. Any other questions of staff? Thank you, Marcy, for the briefing earlier in pre-session regarding the neighborhood and the short-term rentals, et cetera. So we look forward to seeing that in the future. With that, I will, if there's no further business, we'll close the meeting. It is 6:53.
Minutes is record. Isn't it?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.